Hey, let's get rich now and let's better our life in every area of our life. Today we are going to continue the series. We are going to continue the series of talking about guardianship and conservatorship because I need you to know what to do with your money once you make all this money. Hey. Okay, so this video is going to talk about the medical supply companies. Okay, so if you are in a guardianship or a conservatorship and you have to get medical supplies or medication, find out what the cost of that medication and those supplies are. I guarantee you they're charging you more than what they should be charging you. Now, I understand that some people inflate prices. That's called drop shipping. Say you buy something for $100, they might charge you 20% more, so they might charge you, say, I don't know, $120. So they're getting $20 out of you being able to, the convenience of you finding that product through them. But the guardianship and conservatorships and the people that's over it, they take it to another level. Okay, so let me tell you what happened in our situation. Okay, so my niece is disabled and she has a G-tube in her stomach. Now, there's some places that can get the G-tube as low as maybe $34 or $68. And they inflate the cost up to, say, there's some people that I've seen inflate the cost up to $200. Some drop shippers, because they don't know much about how much the item should cost. But if you get it for, say, $131 to $167, I guess that's okay, you know. How much were they charging us for G-tubes? It's like the Mickey G-tube, because the Mickey G-tube is, she has this little button in her stomach, and you put medication in there to, medications, you can connect a, like maybe a syringe or whatever, you can feed them milk and any type of liquids through that G-tube, and you have to flush it and all that. They were charging us $1,200 for the kit that only cost under $200. So here's what happened. I was not the guardian at that time. The case manager set this up, the crooked case manager. She set this up with the company where they were charging $1,200 for this Mickey G-tube. And you have to continuously change this G-tube, say every 2 to 3 months. You have to continuously change this Mickey button. You take it out, put a new one in. So they was charging quite a few thousands of dollars. $1,200 per Mickey G-tube kit. And where the money goes, I have no idea. The case manager set it up, and they were just paying it. The state paying it for years. And then when I came on as guardian, when my father passed away, was paying it for a few years. And then I was like, because I do a lot of praying. Trust me, God leads me on a lot of stuff and be like, hey, it ain't right, this ain't right. But of course you ask. Ask and it shall be, you know, God will let you know. So anyway, I said, man, this is a lot for a Mickey G-tube, $1,200. Let me see where we can get it cheaper. I looked it up. Not one person was selling it for $1,200. They was like selling it for under $200, like $130 or something like that. For a matter of fact, I was probably seeing it cheaper than that. So then I went to the company and was like, why are you guys selling this for $1,200? So they immediately stopped selling the G-tubes and sent it over to another company. Now this company constantly charging $1,200 for the G-tubes, the G-tube kits. So it's like a Mickey G-tube, say it could be a 3.0 or 3.5 or something like that. But anyway, they was charging us $1,200 for probably over a year. And why didn't I immediately go to the other company and say, why are you charging me? I did ask, and they said that's how much it costs. But once I brought it to, say, the trust company, which is the bank, and the guardian ad litem, they immediately started, whenever you find out something that they're doing wrong, they'll go to the caregivers and they'll start having them lie about you so they can fight you for 1 to 2 to 3 years on something that's made up. So anyway, after continuously fighting and winning in court over stuff, and they'll say stuff like I'm gonna tell you one thing that they did. They went to the home health care company and said, I want you to find out everything you can about Rochelle. I want you to follow her around. I want you everything she say, everything she do. I want it written down. So they was too busy, wasn't even taking care of my niece because they were too busy following me around the house, sitting outside the bedroom door, waiting for me to walk out the bedroom, go to the bathroom. They get up like they the FBI, and they're paying. And these caregivers, they don't pay them much. But caregivers to me is one of the most underpaid. They don't pay them much, and they'll give them a few extra dollars to do some criminal acts, and they will do it. So anyway, so once I got back to, after fighting them in court and winning again and again and again, then I went down to talk to the head of the particular company that was selling it, charging us $1,200. I was like, I need to know why you charging us $1,200 for something that don't cost that much. And the manager said to me, oh, the bank, the trust company, the bank tells them what price to charge. And they said, when you send it to the person's house, do not have the price on it. So the bank inflated the cost. And now I call the bank and say, I found out what you're doing. I want to go to the judge. I want to tell the judge this. Because I'm back and forth through attorneys. Because attorneys, let me tell you about attorneys. Attorneys, the good attorneys is not going to take your case. The bad attorneys going to take your case and just take your money and not represent you. So I was in between. I had an attorney, and he was a church man. He was his company represented God, God, God. Baby, that guy. So when we set up the court date, he set the court date. He gave me the court date, and then he sent me an email saying we had to cancel the court date. There's no court date. So he said that they had to cancel the court date. There was no court date, and then I later find out while they were stepping before the judge, he called me and said, "Where are you?" I said, "You sent me an email and said there was no court, it was changed." "Oh no, we still have court." And I said, "Why? I can't get down there now because you guys are all the way in the city and I'm in another part of Illinois or Cook County. So I need you to tell the judge this and this." Didn't tell him nothing. I went and got a copy of the court report, and they basically, my attorney, all of them threw me under the bus and said, "Oh, she was the one that picked the company, and we were paying too much for this company, and it was her choice. She picked this company. So we put together a paper that takes away all of her authority as a guardian of the estate, and she can no longer make financial decisions. And we want you, judge, to make her sign this because she picked this company, and knowing that it was the bank and the case manager that did the picking of this company and did all of that underhanded stuff. But then they made sure I didn't show up in court so that they can tell the judge that it was all me. And I was not even the guardian at the time that this company was picked. And then once I eventually did get before the judge, then it was like, no, we need her to sign this paper because she's telling us when we, pick stocks, you know, she got a say in all of this, and we're experienced about stock and she's not. And I'm like, but you lost millions and millions of dollars every year in your own stock when you could be picking other stock. But the law states again that basically, like, they don't have to make money on the stock. They just need to keep it at the, you know, where it is. So if you have 15 million and they can year after year keep it within that range, they're good no matter how much they steal. So if you might be able to fight them if you have 15 mil and now it's at 7. Because they did that to me one time, but that was during the 2008 crash. But within 3 to 6 months, it went back up to that 15 million. So they have the control. Trust me. So this company was charging all these years $1,200 for these tubes. And so they said, okay, well, these many months for like 1 year or whatever, we'll refund the money to the estate. But all those other years, they didn't refund nothing. And I still didn't, of course, did they refund it or did they not? Who knows? And so I found so I started ordering the G-tubes online, paying like maybe between $134 to say 160 something per G-tube. And then I just go to them and have them reimburse me for the money. And it's kind of hard because they don't give us enough money to take care of my niece, so I always have to come out of my pocket, and then I have to ask them to reimburse me later. And then when doing that, it puts me at a financial disposition because I'm not able to get the full, you know, what I can get from my money, from my, you know, making investments or whatever. I can't invest my money properly because I'm too busy making sure I have enough money set aside to be able to take care of the fund, take care of what my niece needs. And it doesn't be small stuff like these G-tubes. It'd be like hundreds of dollars. And I would like get like maybe about 3 or 4 at a time in case caregiver steals one or takes it, because sometimes people become caregivers because they don't have a lot of money, they can't afford to take care of their disabled person, so they'll get a job with someone that has the same disability as their loved one so that they can steal. And that's going to be another video on case managers, and they're stealing. Ooh, they steal a lot. So nonetheless, and then it's not just that company. It could be the pharmacy. They could be sending medication to the home, and they can fabricate the cost of the medication. And you have to, if you get any type of supplies, medication, or anything from a medical supply company or a pharmacy, check those prices and see where can you get them cheaper. And then go to that bank and say, I want to utilize this company now because I no longer want to utilize the company that is inflating the cost. And guarantee you, they're going to be upset because they're walking off with that money. So that's a little on the home health care. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about the rest of this stuff here. I might go down to the bottom just to go back up because I need to tell you some good stuff. All right, let's get rich now and let's change our life in every area that we can. And we definitely want to make sure that our money is utilized to the best it possibly can. So if you can avoid trusts, probates, guardianship, do that until they change the system where the system works for you.